The pastor who preached the series, the evangelistic series that we attended in 1970 in Van Nuys, California, Byron Spears, he preached from memory. He had had polio earlier in life, so he walked with 2 canes very slowly, and he'd hang them both. He'd have 10 handkerchiefs, and by the end of his sermon, the 10 were all over the floor because he'd wipe his sweat with them. And then he said, "And now I'm calling on you, be baptized." I was scared. Fear is the simplest word that comes to mind. I was scared when God called me to be baptized. I had been told that Protestants were a threat, and now the threat was asking me to be baptized. My mom was the first to say, "I'll do it. Come on, son, let's go." I mean, my other brother Louis, "Come on, let's go." We just looked at her. But when my mom showed determination, "Well, I'm going, you guys can stay here," I just jumped up. And I ran to catch up to my mom. And and then my brother Louis, and the 3 of us stood up there with those who came forward. Well, add 40 years to that, and I run into the evangelist who baptized me's daughter at an event. And she said, "You wrote about my dad in one of your books. You know, he's still alive. He's 99 years old, and he's on a wheelchair, and he's still preaching pretty much every Sabbath, and he still preaches from memory." And I said, "Oh, I do what he does. I now also preach from memory. I'm the same way, and I have a lot of elocution that is very similar to his." And she gave me his number, and I called him. And I said, "Pastor Spears, this is Jose Rojas. You don't know me." "Yes, I do." "I remember baptizing you." "How can you remember a kid from 1970? He says, "You held up my Bible study, the preparatory Bible study class that went every night up to the Sabbath of baptisms. You held us up for 2 nights over pork. You didn't want to lose your bacon, your sausage, or your chicharrones. And you just had such a hard head. That's why I remember you." And then I now see you, son, with your hard head proclaiming Christ, and nothing seems to divert you. Now to see a hard head turn to heaven, I just thank the Lord that I stood by this kid with the hard head. My baptism means to me that God can take a kid with a hard head and make that hard head do some real damage to the darkness. I too am just a follower of God, but I'm a happy and blessed one.